Surprise! This show still exists. Yes, it's been a little teeny tiny while since you last seen us. I say little teeny tiny while because it's not like it was a full-blown hiatus, but still it's been a while, and the reason why is other stuff, okay? Yes, not just because of that big thing that happened a couple weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, however the hell long it was, but also other things too, but it's not on this channel. So because of that, I had to resort to something in order to adjust to this. 2 for the price of 1 episodes. Yes, 2 episodes for the price of 1. Yes, so we're gonna have 1 episode that covers 2 weeks worth of super villain shenanigans. Look, I have no time for this. This is the Super Vlillain Vlogs. And due to this development I was talking about, with the thing that's on another channel. Which one is it? Well, it's probably the one that you would have never been able to hear about this one if it wasn't for that other one. And of course I'm talking about Geekvolution. So it's gonna be on there, okay? It's gonna be on there. I don't know exactly when, but I'd say soon. Anyway, but because of the production of that, not only did we have to take a week off last week, but we're going to also, in the week to come. Yes, next week too. So because of that, next week will also be a double episode, but hopefully after that, once that has passed, then we will be able to continue on a regularly scheduled program, where it's 1 episode a week. Sure, we're never consistent on when it's released of that week, but still, we managed to do it 1 episode a week. We just never specify which day of that week it comes out, So sometimes it's on a Saturday, sometimes it's on a Sunday, sometimes it's on a Monday. With first talking about the 2 previous episodes of Gotham. Yes, not just this week's episode, but last week's too. And this was the one where finally, after all of that hype, we finally got Penguin's Papa. Yes, we finally got him. Played by Pee Wee Herman. Yes, just like back in 1992. Yes, it's weird that they got him because he's an alumni, and yet he gets to do more acting in these 2 episodes than he ever did in that single cameo. But anyway, yes, what's important is that we finally got Pee Wee Herman. Oh, that reminds me, I still haven't seen that new movie that's on Netflix. Come to think of it, I think I was about to. I was about to, but then I hyperventilated for some reason. It's really iffy. It's a little bit of a blur. I'm not completely all here right now. I'm a little woozy right now. But anyway, enough with Pee Wee Herman. Let's get back to Pee Wee Herman being Penguin's father. Yes, and it's such an emotional moment because he never even knew that he had a penguin son. He never even knew that the woman that he had a fling with eventually gave birth to a penguin. Yes, he never knew about that, but now he does. Yes, things are looking up for the penguin. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to have all these episodes of Pee Wee Herman as Penguin's Papa. It's gonna be so great. Oh man, I can't wait. All of these episodes. So anyway, but that's not the only thing going on in this episode. We also have this is a pleasant surprise. Riddler stepping up finally. Yes, he has had it with Gordon. He has had it up to here with Gordon's BS. He's like, fuck you, Gordon. I'm going to make sure they know that you committed a crime. And I know why Riddler's doing this. Yes, because if Gordon gets revealed for his crime, people will be way too busy to realize that Riddler has also committed a fuckload of crimes, even more than Gordon. So of course, it's up to Riddler to do the super villainous thing and throw Gordon under a bus. and then attach a riddle to that bus. So that when Gordon falls under the bus, he'll have some reading material. And that's what he does. Yes, Riddler has been the most Riddler-like in this entire series. Up to this point, this is the most Riddler-y he's been so far. Yes, he's even got his hat. Yes, his signature hat. Oh, it's not the right color, though. But that's okay. That's okay. It's a prototype hat. Maybe, hopefully, he'll get a more stylish hat. But for now, he's got his prototype hat. What next? Is Penguin going to get his monocle? He does, but that's in the next episode. That's in the next episode. We're not done with this one yet, or are we? Yeah, I think we are because Riddler is successful in his escapades of framing Gordon. Yes, even though he does not have enough evidence to incriminate Gordon for his first murder, he decides, you know what? I'm just gonna frame him for another murder, and that way, when people see that Gordon murdered someone else, or think that he murdered someone else, then they'll assume that he murdered the first guy. And I completely lost track of what I'm saying. But the point is that he did it. He was successful, and now Gordon got his ass in jail. Oh man. I've got to hand it to Riddler. I have underestimated him. I kept wondering when he was going to up his villainous ante, and he has knocked it out of the park. He is just full-blown Riddler at this point. He just needs to draw a question mark on his hat, and then throw away the hat because I don't like that hat, and then get a new hat, and then draw a question mark on that one, and then use that one, a better hat. But anyway, okay, let's talk about the following episode. This week's episode. This is the one where Riddler's tracks have been spotted. Riddler, you've been a little bit too sloppy. Harvey Bullock is on to you. You gotta do something about him. Riddler, you gotta do something about him, okay? You gotta do something about it, alright? Okay. Oh, and now Pee Wee Herman has invited Penguin to his fun house. Yes, where he's in his bathtub, and he gets to meet Pee Wee Herman's family. Yes, Pee Wee Herman has a whole family, a new family. Yes. Oh my God, this is the most cliche as fuck thing ever. Oh God damn it! It's that whole the father is dying, and the wife and the newlywed wife just married him for the money, and he can't wait and she can't wait for the father to die so she can inherit the money and all his riches. Oh, and she has these bratty little rich snobby little assholes of kids. This is like the most cliche. What the fuck? Why is this so cliche as all fuck? Did they do it because this is the most inevitable thing to do with rich people? Since I assume it's because Penguin is known for being very snooty and rich in the comic books, and so far here in this version, he has not been that. He hasn't been this aristocratic snobby fat cat. He has not been that. He's been on the street, son. He's got some street cred. Yeah, so maybe that's why they're throwing him into all of this, so that he gets that aspect of him implanted into him. And that's, of course, how he gets the monocle. But then Pee Wee Herman is like, no, you'll get that later in the series. Oh, Pee Wee Herman, I hope you're in every episode after this. I hope you are a long-running character. Oh, wait a minute, you immediately die. No! I mean, I know he wasn't super villainous, but I mean, he could have been if he lived long enough. You either die a hero or that kind of thing, because he was very forgiving of Penguin. He was like, you know what? I don't mind that you used to be a heartless murderer who was a crime lord. I'm okay with you. You've changed. Which either means he's stupid as fuck, or he could have been potentially a fellow supervillain, or he was really, really trusting, or that's how trusting he was. He was like a blood thicker than water kind of guy. I'm guessing he was because he was stupid as fuck. But it doesn't matter because he's dead. It's all been for naught. He's dead. He's dead. What was the point of putting him in this show if you were just gonna immediately kill him? I mean, before this episode, Penguin just thought that his dad was dead. So, if you hadn't had this two-parter involving Penguin's papa, then nothing would have changed. The status quo would have been exactly the same. Although, then again, there is that rich fat cat aristocratic aspect of Penguin that's now been implanted thanks to this two-parter. But still, and also maybe the reason why he did it. Now that I'm thinking of it, maybe the real reason is to snap him out of this goofy, lovey-dovey two-shoes nonsense. Yes, because Hugo Strange brainwashed him to be all peace-loving and stuff. And maybe now that Pee Wee Herman has been dead, obviously murdered by the snooty family. I mean, they practically say it, you know. We know for a fact that that's what happened. This is what's gonna snap him out of it. Yes, this is what's gonna make him realize, wait a minute, I'm a cold-hearted, bloodthirsty killer. What am I doing here? Yes, and so he will avenge his father. Yes, he'll be the fuck-up version of Batman. Except instead of just like a bat, he's just like a penguin. He's just like Happy Feet. Or those wrestlers who are going to voice penguins in Surf's Up 2. Anyway, also Falcone's finally back. Oh, finally. Oh, I was hoping we would get him back, you know. Not because I want him to continue his supervillainous reign, no. So we can see his reign from his junior, from his son, you know. Let's see the passing of the torch. Let's have the holiday killer. But you can't have that without Calendar Man. And they're like, hey, hold on, okay, one thing at a time, Jesus Christ. So I can understand that. But the point is, he's here, but he's helping, but the downside is that he's helping Gordon get out of jail. God damn it. Getting out of Blackgate, or whichever jail this is. I don't know. DC has like 200 billion of them. Anyway, so yes. So the point is that Gordon is now out, and also the Warden was evil as fuck. Basically, this whole episode was a remake of Shawshank Redemption. You know, the Warden, the Warden, I think got killed or something. And the main character escaped. Oh my God, it is exactly like the Shawshank Redemption, except the best friend of that movie survived along with the guy, and they both got out, each in their own way, as to opposed to here, where they do both get out, except one of them friggin' dies. Okay, let's take a break from Gotham now, and let's now talk about the 2 episodes of Supergirl. Yes, Supergirl's 2 episodes. Yes. Yes, the first episode is the episode where Martian Manhunter has no choice but to finally come out of the closet. And he's out of the closet, and she's in the closet, and I'm headed in the closet. The closet. How many times have I made reference to that now? I don't know, 200 billion one or something. But anyway, the point is that he's finally out of the Martian closet, and he's revealed himself to everyone. And now the DEOAIEIOU has turned against him, even though he did all this good. And they're like, no, fuck you. You're an asshole. We need to have tension in this episode, so we're gonna be complete fucking assholes to you now, and we hate you, and so we get the government involved, and Lucy Lane is there, Lucy Lawless Lou Lane, and a new guy. Who is this now? Oh, it's the eventual Guardian. Yes, the Guardian. Yes, a prominent member of Cadmus, which he mentions in this episode. Yes, Cadmus. Yes, Cadmus is in the show. Yes, a major recurring supervillain or organization in the comic books. Although some might argue that it's not completely super villainous. They're more like slightly corrupted than they are like flat out super villainous, because because apparently they're trying to do it for good. It's just they keep doing fucked up things. They're like a more corrupted Shield, kind of. And they experiment on people, and they experiment on Superman, and make Superman clones, and all of that stuff. And so of course they are a staple in the Superman lore. Too bad they're not in the movies, but hey, they're here though. They're here, and they get mentioned by the Guardian, or the eventual Guardian. See, this is why John Diggle is not Guardian in Arrow. This is why he was Spartan, or whatever the fuck. This is Spartan! Oh, talk about an overdone thing. It was all fuck. But what I'm trying to say is that that's why. Because they wanted a more appropriate way to implant that character. Here, instead, in the actual way to do it, where he's affiliated with Katamis. And so, he's like, hey, let's go to Katamis right now. Let's have a road trip. Yeah! On the road again. She's coming out. And a brother convoy. And there's a convoy. Yes, so they go on a road trip, and they rent out a giant they rent out a giant semi truck. It's gonna be so great. They're gonna learn lessons, and they're gonna be chased by the guy from the Honeymooners. It's just gonna be so great. But someone has to interrupt them. Good, Supergirl. Supergirl has to interrupt their friggin' awesome road trip to Katamis. And not only was Martian Manhunter going to be forced to go to Katamis, but so was Supergirl's stepsis, and now neither of them get to go to Katamis. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy about that. They don't get to go to Katamis now. But what's interesting is that when Martian Manhunter erases the mind of the Guardian, or the eventual Guardian. By the way, here's hopes to the Guardian going all crazy because of the mind wipe, and it's like, oh, I have to wear golden armor now. I have to become something that the guy from Man of Steel was not. But anyway, but something that Martian Manhunter picks up is proof, or memory, apparently, that somehow, now I'm not sure how he got this from, I'm not sure how he got this from this guy, from a Guardian, but maybe the reason why he got it from Guardian is because Guardian has been brainwashed by Katamis, and so one of the things that he picks up is the fact that Supergirl's foster father is still alive. Yes, from the flashback where he and the real Hank Henshaw, yes, the real Hank Henshaw, the actual super villainous one, the one who was destined to become Cyborg Superman until he was hastily stopped in his tracks by falling off a cliff. Oh no! Oh! Maybe they'll put him back together again. Yes, they have the technology. He will be the $6 million Cyborg Superman. Yes, or the bionic Cyborg Superman. So we'll see about him. We'll see about that. But for now, let's focus on the fact that apparently Supergirl's foster father is still alive. And the only way to find this out, apparently, is to go to Cadmus. So now Martian Manhunter and Supergirl's foster sis are on the run now, and they're going to Cadmus. You were just going there anyway. What the fuck? You could have gone there anyway. And then Supergirl would be like, nope, I have to interrupt stuff. But anyway, so they're going on that. and Supergirl is left to have even badder ass villains in the next episode. Yes, this is the episode I am looking forward to talking about. Yes, this is the one I'm looking more forward to talking about. This one right here. And the one I am referring to is the one where Silver Banshee has had it with all these episodes where she hasn't become the Silver Banshee. She's like, no, when am I going to become the Silver Banshee already? Because we've been setting it all up. Yes, first she's the replacement of Kara. First she's the replacement of Kara as assistant of Cat Grant, and then Cat Grant is like, no, screw you, and fires her, and that's what prompts her to hate Kara. That's what prompts her to hate her, so she already has the hate for her. That's the making for a supervillain, but you need a little bit more of that oomph. You need a little bit more of that oomph to push you into full-on supervillainy. And what is that oomph, you ask? Well, maybe it's the discovery of sonic booms coming out of your mouth. Yes, that's more than enough. Yes, that's good. Good. Roll with that. Run with it. Yes, embrace it. Become the Banshee. No, wait. No, not the Banshee. Not the Scottish or Irish member of the X-Men. No, not him. I think he's dead or something. In both continuities. No, I'm talking about Silver Banshee. Yes, become her now. Oh, and now I could wonder, like, wait a minute. She just automatically discovers her powers? How did she get it? Well, we get the explanation in this episode. That's where we get the explanation. Apparently, her grandmother or aunt or whatever the hell is a gypsy, and she's a gypsy who used to be a banshee too. And apparently, what happened was her whole lineage, her whole family lineage, has been cursed by some a-hole back in the distant past who pissed off a banshee and decided, hey, you pissed me off, I'm a banshee, I'm gonna make you a banshee, I'm gonna make your whole entire lineage banshees, okay? Fuck you. And so that's what happened. Wait a minute. So is this the first instance of magic we got on the show? I think that is. I think this is the first time we got into magic, because banshees aren't aliens. They're magical beings. I mean, they could go the Thor route if they wanted to, I guess, and maybe like say, oh, surprise, they are aliens. But no, I think they'll keep this as a fantasy-based type thing with the Banshee and other things too, because something that's well known about Superman is that one of the other things that is his weakness other than kryptonite is magic. Yes, magic is something that he has a weakness of. Magic, yes, and as shown in this episode, it affects Supergirl. Yes, it injures her. Yes, she's affected by it because it is magic. Yes, oh, yes, continue with that. Yes, show a better example of magic against Supergirl than you did in that shitty-ass 1980s Supergirl movie, okay? To do a better job than that one did. Because that one was like, oh, we got all this magic, but we're not gonna do shit with it, and we got this big ass giant demon monster who I guess that's I guess that's Trigon, but he looks like Trigon, but I don't think they ever said he was. And also, why would that be Trigon? But anyway, screw Trigon unless you put him on a live action show. But anyway, all right, back to over this. Also, did you hear he's going to be voiced by Punisher on an animated movie? Oh, I'm getting way off topic. The point is that, well, what concerned me, though, was that Banshee would not have the full spotlight. No, Silver Banshee had to share the spotlight in this episode, which, even though I thought, wait a minute, that means that means you only get half the spotlight. But then I realized, wait a minute, that's actually a practical thing to do. That's actually thinking rational, because she realized, like, wait a minute, if I go on this head on, I'm gonna fall on my ass because I'm not doing it alone. Okay, I've never done this before. I've never been a supervillain before this. Okay, I have to think about this. Would I really be able to do this on my own? And the answer is no. I need some help. I need to be practical about this. I need some assistance from someone who actually has experience with this. And that person is, of course, is Livewire. Yes, Livewire is back. Yes, it just so happens that they had to contrive a way for Silver Banshee to happen to be at the DAEIOU, and somehow it's okay that she's there and is aware of it, and she's shown out, and she knows where it is. Way to fuck up on that, guys. You just let in normal civilians into this place when it all willy-nilly. And so when they bring her there, she sees Livewire. By the way, also great there that she happens to see her from between a crevice. You would think they would have more security to make sure she wouldn't see Livewire or any of that. But nope, she sees and like, oh, I know who that person is now. Thanks for being stupid as fuck, government organization. So she teams up with Livewire, and they are now a supervillain duo. Yes, they know what's up now. Yes, and they will go against the superhero duo. Wait a minute, there's two superheroes? Well, I already know Supergirl. Who's the other one? Does that mean that Superman will finally show up? No, wait, no. That would be confusing as fuck considering we just had a Superman movie. No. Instead it is The Flash? What? I'm talking about him already in this episode? I usually have to wait till later for me to talk about him. But no, he's all of a sudden all willy-nilly in this episode. What? They're doing a crossover with The Flash? Holy shit. Well, what's the explanation for it? Well, the explanation is that Supergirl, the show, takes place in a alternate universe. Yes, because Flash has been doing all these alternate universes himself, so it's a matter of him going through one of those portals into this universe. However, that doesn't seem to be the explanation they give. It seems to be more like, oh, I went too fast and I wound up here by accident. Whoopsie-doodle-doo. Also, before you ask, I'll say this already right now. I'll get it out of the way. The Flash show does not acknowledge this at all, whatsoever. They do not acknowledge that Flash went to another universe. That is not what Flash does in the last week's episode or this week's episode. He doesn't acknowledge it all. In fact, you could just watch The Flash without even knowing that he crossed over with Supergirl. I mean, there might be advertisements for it, but no, you could watch that and you would be and you would have missed nothing, because this episode, like, you could have been like either or, and so he just shows up all of a sudden. He's like, hey, I'm in this episode now because people wanted us to cross over, so I am crossing over, and then I'll never acknowledge it ever again in my life. Okay, let's do it. All right, so he's in the episode, and I don't give a shit because I only care about the supervillains. And now, if Captain Cold or Zoom or any of the other villains from that universe came into Supergirl, then I'd give a shit. Then I'd be like, oh, cool as fuck. Oh, get it because it's Captain Cold. But nope, no, they don't show up. Just Flash, because I guess that's all they could afford. Deadpool reference. So yes, so let's just focus on Livewire and Silver Banshee. Those are the only ones I'll focus on. Yes, and it's freaking awesome as all fuck. They've got their own hideout. And Livewire is like, hey, let's have a makeover. Okay, that's not what happens. They just cut from one episode to, they just cut from one scene to another, and boom, Silver Banshee has her costume and makeup. I mean, I know she's magic, but she's not magic in that way. So there should have been a makeover montage. Makeover. Yes, that should have happened. But the point is, yes. So she's now dressed like she's ready to go to a Day of the Dead festival, just like the people in the Superman movie. And they're finally going to have their head-to-head big epic battle between the two supervillains and the two superheroes. Yes, it's going to finally happen. Too bad the way the fight ends is with the inclusion of is from the actions of the civilians instead. Oh, that's right. They were like, oh, wait a minute, that's right. Supergirl is hated by society now because when she turned into she turned into a horrible person because of the kryptonite a couple of weeks ago. So we have to resolve that immediately and hastily by doing this, where she saves everybody and then everyone's like, hey, let's protect her now. Although I guess that's supposed to be a reference to Superman 2 when that happened. So since they really like their references, yeah. So that's how the episode resolves itself. And then Flash is like, okay, bye. I'm gonna leave now and I'm gonna go back to my universe and never acknowledge that I was here on my show. By the way, it would be cool if you mentioned your cousin so that the Flash is aware of Superman, but hey, you know what? They're gonna meet in the movie, so why should I acknowledge the existence of your cousin? Okay, bye! Bye! Big disappointment, bye! Okay, so bye, Flash. See you when I talk about you. But before I talk about you, I have to talk about something else. And that is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, for the last few episodes, I've been talking about how glorious and more useful Ward is now that he is Hive. Yes, fuck you, Ward. You don't exist anymore. There is only Hive. But this episode is all like, yeah, we know Ward is cool as fuck now that he is Hive. But let's just take a little bit of a break from him, okay? Let's explore some other supervillains. And I'm like, okay, alright, that's fine. What else do you have? What other supervillainous Inhumans do you have to offer? Oh, some personality-less guy who like controls dark matter and turn it into a sentient person thing. Okay, that's interesting. You know, there's a lot of dark matter powered villains in the comic books. There's a lot of villains that are associated with dark matter. Which one of them is he? Oh, we don't know. I guess we're not meant to know, because he immediately dies. Yes, he dies at the end of the episode. Oh, man. It's like, I think Hive is trying to start his own army, but that's going to be hard if you keep killing them. So, you know, leave some of them alive, okay? Oh, wait a minute. It's S.H.I.E.L.D. who's killing them off. Although, now that I think of it, they didn't really kill that many off, just this one. And also he's some kind of Russian guy. Oh no, they're trying to start another Cold War. You know, we could use another Cold War. You know, a good old-fashioned Cold War. Since the last one gave us so many inspirations for supervillains. Yes, let's do it. I mean, the Cold War wasn't even like a physical war. It was just like arguing and stuff. Like, hey, I hate you. Hey, I hate you. Hey, don't bomb us. Hey, you don't bomb us. We don't bomb you, and all that. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to fighting each other with words instead of bullets and knives and bombs and just good old-fashioned words. Okay. Don't take this out of context, okay? I am a cartoon villain, okay? Don't take anything I say as actual reasoning. Anyway, so the Russian guy is dead, and because of it, 2 of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. we will never see ever again. Oh no! Well, they don't die, so wait, what? No, instead, some kind of legal mumbo jumbo about how they can never legally be associated with S.H.I.E.L.D. ever again or something. And so all the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are like, let's give a toast to them. Let's give a toast to Mockingbird and Lance Hunter. We love them so much, even though we barely had any character moments with them. And we're clearly trying to manipulate the viewers into caring for them. Yeah, we get it, okay? We all know they're getting their spin-off, okay? I'm sure this is probably sad to people who don't know that they're getting their own spin-off, but yes, they're getting their own spin-off, okay? We know about it. And in fact, all that scene does is make me more hyped up for it, because it's going to have Odette Fur in it. Yes, the guy who played the Mummy. He's finally going to become a supervillain, just like everyone wanted. But they have not revealed yet who he is. All they said is that he's a famous, well-known Marvel villain. Wait a minute, that is such a goddamn tease. Well, why can't you tell us? You can't just leave us hanging like that, being like, oh, hey guys, you've heard of this villain, but we're not gonna say which. Okay, right now I'm thinking either Grim Reaper or Taskmaster. Oh god, I hope it's Taskmaster. But I could understand if people would be like, no, wait a minute, they're squandering Taskmaster for this bullshit? No, we want him for like the Defenders miniseries or something, and I agree. But anyway, who cares? Taskmaster is Taskmaster. Anyway, so that's that episode. So let's move on to the other one. The one that actually does have Hive in it. Although I'm remembering something. Oh, that's right. Gideon Malik has a daughter or something. And is the daughter from the comic books? Probably not. Okay, then I don't give a shit. Alright, so anyway, let's move on to the other episode that actually does have supervillains in the comic books. Yes, and it's a whole organization of them. Yes, a whole organization, and it's a very famous one. Okay, it's not really that famous, but it is probably famous if you know lots about Captain America. It's the Watch Dogs. No, it's not that video game. No, shut up, millennials. This is something way, way older than that. No, the Watch Dogs are a group of supervillains in the comic books who were like extreme, like conservative extremists. Yes. You know how like recent comic books have been getting a lot of flack from Fox News about how they're being too critical of conservatives, being too critical of them. Oh, they're being too critical. Why are they all political now? Well, guess what? Get your heads out of your asses, okay? You people from Fox News. Don't you understand that this has always been a thing? Always. Comic books have always been political. That's the reason why Captain America exists. That's the reason why Wonder Woman exists. It's because of politics. That's always been the case. Always. Comic books have been always making political commentary on politics. And the Watch Dogs have been around since the 1980s. They've been around for a very long time. So criticizing the fuck out of conservatives is not something new. That's always been the case. And Marvel has always been doing that. Now to clarify, they're not criticizing conservatives in general. They're just criticizing the extra kooky loony bin ones. The really crazy asshole ones. Those are the ones that they use as the watchdogs. Those are the ones. The extremist ones. The extreme conservatives. So it's very ballsy for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to do this right now, considering what's going on right now. You know, I mean, you could easily say, you could easily, like, cough and then say Trump, and then cough again. Trump! You know, like that. You could say that. But anyway, but the point is that it's very ballsy for them to do that, to talk about that right now. Use those characters that are extremists, depicted as these xenophobics and homophobics and also racophobics and abortionophobics and all of these phobics, all of these phobics, and you're gonna put that on this show. That is very ballsy. Wow, that is very brave of them. They're just really brave. Oh, wait a minute, they chicken out. There you go. They chicken out. Yep, they're a bunch of chickens. They aren't that way at all. Instead, the only thing that they're phobic to are Inhumans. They're inhumanophobic. And I know we've been using the Inhumans on this show to be used as allegories for minorities. I know we've been using them for that. So you could say that the Watchdogs are still, an allegory of an exaggerated version of the most extreme type of conservative. You could still say that about them, but at the same time, you know what? The comic books were brave enough to make them actually xenophobic and actually homophobic, and make them the most negative, evil types of ways some of those people are. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but some of them are like that. And so you had a chance to show that here, and instead you're like, nope, they just hate Inhumans. That's it, they just hate Inhumans. I mean, maybe they'll be used for other things later, but nope, that's what they're used for at the moment, is to hate Inhumans. Ugh. But wait a minute. Who is the leader of these watchdogs? Because in the comic books, they're not led by anyone, prominent. Just some generic person. But who leads them here? Holy shit! It's Felix! It's Felix the cat! No, not that Felix. It's Felix Faust! No, it's not Felix Faust. It's the Felix that this is the Felix from Item 47, or whatever the fuck that was called. Yes, that short from the Blu-ray of the Avengers that was about these Bonnie and Clyde type duo that got arrested by S.H.I.E.L.D. but then became members of it. By the way, what the fuck happened to that duo? Because we never saw them again past that, and we've seen this guy past that short. So what the fuck happened to them? I'm just gonna assume they died. Yep, they're dead. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume that they're both dead. But Felix wasn't, because he showed up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But it was right during the big takeover from Hydra where he disappeared. He was never seen again. The last time we saw him was in a coma at a hospital because of Deathlock. So what has he been doing this whole time? Has he been in the hospital this whole time? That's what I was assuming, but it turns out no. It turns out what he's been doing this whole time is becoming one of us, a super villain. And that's how and that's why the Watchdogs are here, because he founded them. Yes, he put them together. He is their leader. Well, you're not doing a very good job, because this is not what the Watchdogs are supposed to be, like in the comic books. This is just a wussification of the Watchdogs. They're like, oh, we just hate Inhumans, no one else just hate Inhumans. We're not much of a commentary on real life people like we used to be. Meh, meh, meh. But little does Inhuman-phobic Felix know, little does he know that he's working with Inhumans. Yes, because he's trying to work with Hydra now. Man, that's how desperate he is. He used to legitimately know that Hydra was a threat, or was he a part of Hydra? Fuck if I know. But the point is, he's working with them, but he doesn't know that a couple of them are Inhumans. So he's like, hey, I'm going to work with you guys, and you guys are going to help me out. And they're like, okay, but you'll need a secret weapon. Oh, what is the secret weapon? What is it? Ooh, let me see. Oh, it's just some missile. Oh, that was... I couldn't help but feel I couldn't help but feel that tease was that lead up was to something more interesting than what it wound up being. What the fuck? We really should have seen this coming, that Felix turned out to be a supervillain this whole time. I mean, he's played by the smoke monster from Lost. This should have been a given. But anyway, that's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ugh, 2 episodes in a row without Hive. That's okay. They're making that up for it for next week. They're making that up next week. So let's move on now over to The Flash. Yes, after a whole fucking month, we finally get back to the DCCWU universe. We finally get back to the swing of things. Well, we weren't completely void of the universe. We still had Legends going on, during that time. But they took a break too, which means that they're the only one that only has 1 episode for me to cover, because of the last 2 absence. So that means that, but Arrow and Flash are the ones that also get the double episode treatment. Starting with The Flash, where first we get a trajectory. And I know I could have also said Jessie Quick, but that is Dr. Wells' daughter. She still has yet to become Jessie Quick. And everyone was thinking, oh, wait a minute, is this the episode where she becomes Jessie Quick? And the answer is, of course not. No, they already confirmed a trajectory. Actually, now I think of it, I actually am pronouncing that right. I don't know why I complain more about mispronouncing that than I actually am mispronouncing it. Trajectory? I think it's trajectory. Yes, trajectory. trajectory. I don't mind that it's not Jesse Quick just yet. I don't mind that we're not doing Jesse Quick at the moment. And the reason why I don't mind is because she is a goody two-shoes hero. Yes, she's a hero. Even though she's the daughter of, like, the evil version of Flash. Or is he evil? I don't remember. I think he's like... I don't think he's evil. I think he's just, like, more corrupt or something. I don't know. It's that whole L-Man and Ultraman thing. Not to be confused with the Tokusatsu guy. Tokusatsu, that guy. I'm talking about Ultraman and L-Man. Those guys. But they're not doing that in this version, which frankly is a missed opportunity. When are we going to get to another frickin' universe already? Okay, I know you're gonna say, well, wait a minute. We just went to the Supergirl's universe. Flash just went there. Yeah, but that was on a different show. What about this universe? So far, we have all these talks about all these different portals going every which way, and apparently all of them just go to Earth 2, I guess. No other place whatsoever. And what's really worse about that is that on the Supergirl show, Flash says that he's already met his evil self. No, you haven't. You didn't meet your evil self. You met like a steampunk version of yourself who was actually more good than you. He was more innocent than you. You have not met your evil self. See, not only are they avoiding doing super cool things like the Injustice League, like evil counter-Earth versions of them, not only have they not done that yet, but they're pretending as if they have done it. Ugh. That's adding injury to insult. And I know, well, we did see some evil doppelgangers in Earth 2, but but why not go full on? Why not have a universe where there's full on, like every hero is a villain and every villain is a hero? Well, let's have a full out universe where that's a thing. But nope, they don't do that. Anyway, what the hell was I talking? Yes, Jesse Quick. Yes, so we're not going to get Jesse Quick just yet. Instead, we get Trajectory, and I guess the reason why we get Trajectory is so that we have an explanation for the costume, because the costume she wears kind of looks like what Jessie would wear when she becomes Quick. But not only that, but also to show the repercussions of using Velocity 6. Is that what it's called, or Velocity 9? Velocity 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know, the Velocity drag. That thingamabob. That is up on the table now, because it's showing the ramifications of that, because in the comic books it's treated like any other drug, like crack cocaine and heroin and Hershey's peanut butter cups, all of those kinds of drugs. Taco Bell, all of them. Yes, it's treated like those, where once you start having it, you can't stop, and it takes over your life, and it gives you an alternate personality. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure most of those drugs don't exactly do that. I'm pretty sure Reese's Peanut Butter Cups doesn't, but this one does, and this is what creates an alternate personality of this scientist who transforms into Trajectory. Now, apparently, that is not the case in the comic books. In the comic books, she gets her speed some other way, and she's not completely a villain, apparently. But I'm guessing they're like, okay, we need a speedster in this one to show the negative side of using this drug, to the point where it kills her, to show how dangerous this is for Flash. So they're like, okay, let's just look at all the speedsters, like the 2,100 billion that are in the comic books, and let's just see which one. Let's just spin the wheel and let's see who it lands on. And it landed on Trajectory. That's the one we're going to use. That's the one we're going to squander to show, oh no, this is dangerous. Even though we should have already known that, since, it's like in a syringe, and usually if something is in a syringe, then, yeah, it pretty much is dangerous. But hey, it means one more person on our side instead of the hero's side. You have way too many. You have enough, okay? It's nice to have some volunteers for our side, the super villainous side. It's nice to have that every now and then. Also, she evaporates into a bunch of blue electricity. Oh no! She's naked! And she's electricity! She's naked electricity! And they also find out that Zoom is Jay Garrick. Yes, it was Jay Garrick the whole time. Man, they're really quick to assume, like, oh my god, it was Jay Garrick the whole time. It's like, doesn't Catelyn Snow know for a fact that Jay Garrick has Earth 1 counterpart and has seen that Earth 1 counterpart? Shouldn't she be thinking, like, shouldn't she be thinking in the next episode, like, wait a minute, maybe this isn't our Jay, it's the Earth 1 Jay. Maybe Earth 2 Jay was killed by Earth 1 Jay. But nope, no one's thinking that. They're just immediately like, oh, it's a repeat of last season. Well, even the characters are noting the repetitiveness. And now I know because it sounds way too repetitive, that will probably mean that it will wind up not being repetitive and there will be another twist. But for now, they're assuming the worst and they're being stupid. Anyway, okay, so that's that episode. Now let's go on to the other one that has a reuniting with a classic character. Okay, well, when I say classic, I mean an alumni that has been absent for a very long time on the show, and that is Pied Piper. Yes, Pied Piper, a staple in the Rogues, and we haven't seen him for a very long ass time. The last time we saw him was when he escaped from Cisco, and after he was attempting to help him with the Firestorm investigation, and that was a long ass time ago. Oh my gosh, it's like back then, the last time we saw him was when they were still trying to uncover the mystery regarding Firestorm, and so much has happened since then. It's like how Firestorm has fully become a superhero, and then half of him died, and now that other half has been replaced by a new half, and now they're on a spin-off with a bunch of people time traveling through time and space. It's like, oh, that's how long we have not had Pied Piper. That's how long he's been away from us, and now he's finally back. But this is a really weird way to do that, through time travel, because it would make more sense to do this if he had died, like if Pied Piper had died. Although if he did die, then I'd be like, oh no, how could you monsters? Because I'd have no way of telling whether or not he'd come back. You know, some characters aren't guaranteed to come back. You know, even though there's an annoying amount of characters that do come back, we want to bring this character back, even though there's a lot of those, there are still quite a few that don't come back. You know, there's a lot of staples in the Rogues that have not come back. You know, like, oh, screw you, Gerder is dead. Screw you, Hannibal Bates is dead. Screw you, this character is dead, and that character is dead. Dead. Turtle, dead. Everybody dead. So maybe it is better that they did not kill him. But still, it would have made more sense if they killed him. That way, it would have been more of a shock to see him come back at the end of this episode. Because of the change of the timeline, going back and changing their first encounter with him to the point where now he is no longer their nemesis. Now they're best of buddies. Wait a minute. Best of buddies? No! What have you done, Flash? What have you done? You ruined it. You ruined everything. Ugh. You ruined everything. You ruined it. You fucked it all up. You just fucked up the timeline just so severely. Sure, no one died due to this new timeline that you started that none of us can see now. But you fucked it up by having Pied Piper be on your side now. Like I said, maybe if he had died, then it would have been more of appropriate to bring him back this way. But But he didn't die. The last time we saw him, he escaped from you guys. So, what was the point of going... so why did you feel the need for the only way to bring this character back would be through changing stuff in the past? Like, why was that necessary for this character? Because this character was still alive, and I'm pretty sure he would have still been able to be redeemed in some other way, so that makes no sense. Like, it makes more sense for someone who actually did die in that situation, like Girder, or all of those above. Also, because of that change doesn't mean that there are some things that don't turn out the way they should this time. Like, are we going to see some more of the ramifications of Barry's time changes in later episodes? Like, for instance, the way that they investigated for instance, a lot of the stuff that happens to Firestorm sort of relies on what Pied Piper does after they defeated him the first time. So is that changed now? Is that changed? Is it? I don't fuck if I know. Time travel. It's all fucked up. Speaking of which, there's an addition to this episode that I find. Wait, what? I mean, now, if you were listening last episode, I thought that this was going to be the Shadow Thief that appeared in this episode. And I'm like, oh shit, it's the Shadow Thief, awesome! But no, it turns out it's someone else, and it's really weird, and it's like, and it sounds like the DC thing to do. Like, this sounds very DC for them to do what they do with this type of creature, or whatever the fuck this is. But at the same time, I'm like, wait a minute. Wait just 1 minute. They made this up, so they pulled this out of their ass, what this thing. I'm not going to be too descriptive on what it is, because I decided that I'm going to do a little bit of a sharing and caring program. Yes, I'm going to do a little bit of sharing. There's two particular characters who I think would have a nice little play date if they were to do a personal villain vlog together. You know, sort of to make up for the fact that we've been absent for 2 weeks. And plus, I think they're gonna get along real nice, because they both like to time travel. Oh, it's gonna be so adorable. Also, in this episode, we finally get to be reunited with Eobard Thawne. Yes, we get to see Eobard Thawne again. Not the original actor playing Thawne, of course, but instead Dr. Wells as Eobard Thawne. But it still suffices just as much, because Barry has to lie and weasel his way out of keeping this timeline intact, because apparently he was very, very conveniently able to make just a few changes to the timeline, even though he fucked up a whole lot. You know, he revealed himself to the people, he revealed himself to his friends and his past self, and Eobard Thawne. He also revealed himself to that guy, but somehow he was able to make just enough changes where it didn't change anything too much, to the point where when he came back there was only a couple of changes here and there. Now, is that really the case? Was he really able to do that? Or were the writers like, hey, let's do a time travel story where he goes back to a previous episode, but we're not going to have that many ramifications because we're lazy as all fuck? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on to the next episode. By the way, I hope we see you again, Eobard Thawne. No matter how many convoluted time travel stories we have to do. Alright, let's move on over to Arrow now. Arrow, where in the first episode we get reunited with Cupid. Okay, it doesn't work with every person, but anyway, yes, Cupid. Cupid is back. Yes, Cupid. I remember Cupid. I remember having a little bit of a crush on her the first time, but I've matured since then. I've matured, and I've realized things about myself, and you know, Cupid, I just don't think we're compatible. You know, I just don't think you are, and I know that I probably should save my breath, because you don't even know who the hell I am, and have never met me, and probably would not even respect me, because I am a bottom feeder dweller who's never been in anything other than a Seth Rogen movie. But I've moved on, Cupid. Okay, you're just gonna have to move on too, okay? Anyway, so Cupid is taking it really rough. She's murdering all of these celebrity couples. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. That's the I gotta give it to her for creativity, I guess. I mean, but wait a minute, I realize, oh, that's right, she's trying to get over the death of Arrow. That's right, she's getting over the death of Arrow, of course. And we all know, of course, that Arrow died and was replaced by Green Arrow, who is secretly the same guy. And somehow everyone is are up to just the right amount of stupidity, not realizing that they are the same exact person exactly, including her. Somehow she's like, ugh, you're not as good as Arrow. You're Green Arrow. You're not as good as the previous guy, even though you are obviously the previous guy, and the only thing different about you is the change of costume. Amen. And then there's this staged wedding, and then Felicity has this good Louie love speech. How many speeches has she had on the show? Like 2,165? And that's just in each episode. So she gives her 200,367th speech to Cupid, and then Cupid is like, oh, thanks. But then she realizes, wait a minute, it makes way too much sense for me to just give myself over to you guys now that you've talked some sense into me. Okay? I realize that, you know what, that's not the way this action show should end. This is an action show. So let's have this climactic battle between you and me and all of these characters so that we can have a climactic battle just for the sake of it. Okay, there. Now I'm being arrested. Yes, that was totally necessary. Totally. Alright, let's move on to the next episode. So in this episode, we have another lovely lady. We have Bug-Eyed Bandit's back. Yes, a Bug-Eyed Bandit. I am still 100% supportive of her choice to have a sex change. Very supportive of that. She used to be a man, but now she is a woman, and I respect that. I respect that completely. She is stunning. She is beautiful as a woman now that she's a woman and not a man. But she was also stunning and beautiful as a man too. And she also has a bunch of bees with her on her side again, and they're also stunning, beautiful bees. I want to have sex with those bees. Might be going too far now with the bees. And speaking of bees, why does she just use bees? In the comic books, there were all kinds of bugs that she, or back then he, used. All kinds of bugs. You know, all kinds of bugs. Grasshoppers, daddy long-legs, praying mantises, all kinds of bugs, okay? Hornets and bug's life and ambush bug, okay, not ambush bug, but you know, all kinds of bugs, bah humbugs and Jiminy Cricket. All kinds of bugs. But here she's just so uncreative. She just keeps using bees all the time. She's limiting herself. There's all kinds of bugs you could use. Your name isn't Bee-Eyed Bandit. It's Bug-Eyed Bandit. Bug-Eyed Bandit. Okay? You've got all of these bugs at your disposal. Okay? There are more species of bugs than there are species of total overall animals in the animal kingdom. Okay? Last time I checked, I think. So you have all of those at your disposal, and you just keep using bees, and you use them to transform into this big life-sized bee robot man, this big bee man thing, and I have no idea how the hell you did that. Like, are the bees like made out of like these teeny nanobots or something, and they just transform into this one big bee man or something? Oh man, this is just getting stupider and stupider. Remember when Arrow used to try to ground itself in realism? Remember that? Well, guess what? Now we have a bunch of bee robots turning into bee man with hardly any explanation as to over whatsoever. And also, they dissipate into a bunch of dead bees, too, at the end of the at the end of the episode after being tased, thanks to the help of Mr. Terrific. By the way, that's not me being sarcastic. That's actually his name in the comic books, Mr. Terrific. Anyway, so now that the bees are all dissipated, Mr. Terrific uses the bees against Bug-Eyed Bandit and sting her to death. Holy fuck, what? No, they don't sting her to death. It's just enough to put her in like a coma or something. Yay, she's in a coma, yay! She's on the verge of being paralyzed from the waist down. Oh, isn't it? Aren't we so glad that we just stung her nearly to death? Oh. Well, that was Arrow, and Bug-Eyed Bandit is, I guess, officially an arch nemesis of Felicity. Really sorry about that, Bug-Eyed Bandit. I know you deserve better. I know you deserve the Atom. But no, the CW folks have to be so cruel to you. Okay, let's move on to the final show to talk about this weekend. That is Legends of Tomorrow. Yes, and they had a break the previous week, which means that unlike all the other shows we had for this episode, they only have one episode for us to talk about. Because with all the others, they each had two while I was gone, but this one only had one. Oh, thank you, Legends of Tomorrow. You so nice, Legend of Tomorrow. You so nice. And this is the one where three of the legends are stranded in the middle of the 1950s for 2 years. Yes, 2 years. Because Kronos has to be a badass once again and kidnaps Captain Cold. Good. Kidnap Captain Cold. That's fantastic. Yes, good. Yes. Knock some sense into him. Beat some sense to him. Send him down the right path again. To be a super villain again. Good, Captain Cold. I'm glad you did that. But, however, it sends half of the Legends team in this spiral of their ship going all which way. And they're like, okay, now that we've put the ship back into place, let's go back and save our friends. Whoops, it's been 2 years later. Oh, shit, yes, that's actually very interesting. When you have a time travel show that's all about time travel, there's all sorts of things you can do with that concept. And some time travel shows don't take advantage of those. But this one did by tackling the concept of what if some characters experience something that only takes a few minutes, while the other characters experience something that takes a few years? What would be the ramifications of that? And so we have, Adam and Hawk Girl having to spend 2 years together in the 1950s. But what happened to White Canary in the 1950s? What happened to her? Well, she does something friggin' awesome! She does something that allows us to be reunited with Ra's al Ghul. Oh, that one works really well. Reunited with Ra's al Ghul. Still not played by Liam Neeson, but that's okay. Oh, stop now. Yes, Ra's al Ghul is back in the 1950s, thus confirming officially, I mean, there were implications before, but officially confirming that he's 1,000 years old, and that he has and that he retains his age because of the Lazarus Pit. Yes, and we finally see something in this episode that's a huge staple in the mythos of Ra's al Ghul in the comic books, but we never saw it on the show because it was replaced by Nyssa al Ghul. And yes, Nyssa is also in the comic books, but in the comic books, she's the second most prominent daughter of Ra's al Ghul. The second. The first is Talia al Ghul, but we never saw her on Arrow. But we do see her here. Oh, that's right, this is the 1960s, so of course she would be a child. But wait a minute, this does bring up a question, though. Where the hell is Talia al Ghul in the present? We saw this one lady during that ceremony that brought one of the characters back to life last season. I think it was Thea when they brought back her to life. Remember when I said she was a frog girl? Good times. We saw a weird looking lady then Is that Talia? Is it? Because if it was, then why didn't she say anything? You would think that she'd have more to say then. Also, surprisingly enough, she also has nothing to say here either, if that was Talia. So where the hell is she in the present? Because so this kind of brings up more questions than answers, frankly, with the inclusion of Talia. And I thought, wait a minute, if we've never seen her in the present and we're seeing her here now in the past, 1960, in the year 1960, does that mean we're gonna see her death? Does that mean we're gonna see her death? No, don't do that. She has so much to live for. Oh, God! Oh, thank God! They don't kill her. But still, it does bring up the question: is wait a minute? If she's around in the 1960s, then where the hell is she in the present? Where is she? So, but anyway, I don't know. Maybe they'll tackle that. Maybe they won't. Maybe this is just to appease fans, being like, there you go, there's our acknowledgement of the existence of Talia al Ghul. Okay, all right, we gave it to you. Okay, now never bother us again about it. Well, whatever. But anyway, so Sarah has finally gone back to her roots of being a part of the League of Assassins. Yes, that's so great. Good times, just like the season 2 of Arrow, back when this show was good. It's so nostalgic, so great. Just some good times. But then she magically snaps out of it. Yes, she magically snaps out of it, and all of a sudden she's good again. And she's like, hey, Ra's al Ghul, make sure you do these things so that I do go through the things that happen in season 2 of Arrow, okay? Alright, don't question it, just do it, okay, Ra's al Ghul? Frick, okay? Alright? Do it, okay? Oh, by the way, I'm going to spoil things for you and tell you that you have a daughter that's named Nisa, okay? I don't give a fuck about this, alright? I'm just going to tell you all this. Screw you. But what exactly is it that snaps her out of it? Well, what it is a particular revelation. Yes, a revelation. And it's something so immediately glorious that I dare not to reveal it here. Instead, I'm just going to let that speak for itself in this week's personal vlog as well. Yes, it's all a part of that play date I was talking about earlier. It's all a part of that nice little play date. It's gonna be so adorable. Or it might turn out really badly, I don't know. But you probably already saw it because that came out. That was uploaded before this one. What the hell am I talking about? Anyway, so that's the episode, everybody. That's the double episode where I talk about the last 2 episodes of every show. Oh man, of all the times for me to do this, it's right when we get the full Sinister Six. And right when we get the full Sinister Six, immediately it's all separated all over again. Because next week, everyone seems to be taking off a break again. Except for a few people. And since I've still got a lot of other shit to do these next couple of weeks, because of that, there's going to be another double episode next week, or in the following week, 2 weeks from now. But that one will, but because of a lot of absentees for those 2 weeks, it's going to be basically it's probably going to be more of an equivalent of a regular week, because there's going to be a lot of absentees that week. So there's that. Also, Flash is probably going to be completely absent. Fuck you, Flash! And I'll see you later. Let's get out.